So, dear friends, we are back again in the month of September. Another month for us, a beautiful month where we should have had some rains to cool the climate and at the same time to have a lot of greenery around us. The month of September for us Christians also is very special because it's a month of the birth of Mother Mary, the month where we have feasts of Mother Mary, we have the Teacher's Day, we have the Mother Teresa Day, and so many other good things. Let me begin with the message for the week. It's the 22nd Sunday of the year. And this particular Sunday, we have a very special message which is very challenging, perhaps not even acceptable for many people. I speak of persecution. I speak of troubles and struggles. I speak of suffering. I speak of the cross. You know, when you see the cross, at once perhaps your face, your whole condition changes because no one wants the cross. All of us try to avoid the cross. All of us try to run away from the cross. But that's the central message today. What does cross mean for Jesus? You know, the readings are beautiful. The first reading of the book of Jeremiah. And Jeremiah sort of complains to Yahweh, to God. Why am I being hunted and haunted? The people are just waiting to shout at me to say that here comes one who brings misfortune to us. And for the public, I have become a laughing stock. Why should I be treated like this when I am in your service? You know, St. Paul also has got a beautiful message that we carry in us the sufferings of Christ. And not only that, we have in our bodies what we call the living sacrifice. Every one of us is a sacrifice. We know what is a sacrifice, something that burns, something that goes up to the heavens. And St. Paul says, we are a living sacrifice. And that is why perhaps the cross means and becomes much more meaningful to us. The gospel is very clear. Jesus has got just one point in his mind, to convince the disciples of the meaning of the cross, the meaning of suffering, the meaning of crucifixion. And so on the way to Jerusalem, you know, Jerusalem always means going up for his last stage of his life, where he will suffer and die, and of course rise again. So Matthew chapter 16, verse 21 to 27, you may remember the last Sunday's gospel, wherein Jesus asks his disciples, and the disciples gave the correct answers as to who he is. And Peter also gave the answer that who Jesus is for him. You are the living Christ. You are the Son of the living God. And perhaps Peter was elated when Jesus said, you are rock, and upon this rock I will build my church. But soon after, Jesus sort of not only alters but somehow shifts the whole thing to the place of cross, suffering and crucifixion, and this is revolting for Peter. He makes it clear to Jesus, this is not for you. Don't think of all these things. We have followed you because of some other ideas that we have in our mind for you to make you a king. And what does Jesus say to him? Get behind me, Satan. You know, calling Peter Satan, the word that Jesus uses, because he doesn't want anyone to stop him on the way to Jerusalem, on the way to his suffering, death and resurrection. And so then Jesus tries to explain to them what is the meaning of the cross. First of all, he says, if anyone would like to come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross and follow me. Two things, deny himself and take up his cross. You know, these two things are very hard. Every one of us likes to be awarded honored, glorified. And for us, it's normal and natural that I should get my due of appreciation. But Jesus says, deny yourself. Denigrate, perhaps don't put yourself higher than anything else. You should be the one who serves rather than one who asks to be served. I came to serve, not to be served, says Jesus. And then he gives the meaning of what we call the cross, the crucifixion, the struggle. And he says, whoever would like to save his life will lose it. And whoever would like to is ready to lose his life, will not only save it for himself, but also for many others. It's another place. Jesus has given a beautiful sort of a symbolic meaning of the cross in the form of a seed. When the seed is sown, after a few days, it's beautiful to see how it sprouts. But then if the seed cannot change itself, or perhaps what we say, cannot die, we will not have the new sprout, the new sapling, because the seed is as it is. Try putting a boiled seed into the soil. Will it ever sprout? It will never sprout because it's dead. But when the seed dies, you get new life. And that is what Jesus means. That in our sort of dying, in our way of losing, not only someone else comes up, someone else is benefited, and this is the principle of life. The parents, as much as they struggle, as much as they perhaps even I would say suffer for their children, the children will be happy. The children will grow well. When the parents don't want to lose anything, we don't want to compromise in the sense their life of living that may not be very becoming, the children have nothing to profit. Perhaps they might even say, my parents didn't lose anything in bringing us up. And that is why at every moment of our life, this principle is very important. Because ultimately, suffering and pain have a meaning. Suffering and pain is a mystery. Suffering is always a mystery that cannot be solved, a mystery that perhaps we cannot understand. But it is meaningful, it is fruitful, it is noble, and therefore suffering for Jesus, the crucifixion, the cross has a meaning. There is no gain without pain. It's a little principle. The children are preparing for exam. Can we tell them, there's no need of preparing, you enjoy, you see your TV, perhaps some questions you can answer? No. You have to struggle to get your answers, to prepare yourself. You are starting a business. Can you say that perhaps I will take some loans or some donations and do? No. You have to struggle. And as much as you struggle, you not only become mature and solid, you are also a model and example for the others. And the business, the education, the life, the family, that is built on what we call hard work, struggles, perhaps even oppositions and challenges, is much more meaningful because you understand the growth figure, the growth graph as it were. Because of your struggles, because of your difficult situations, you know how to face the future. So this is what Jesus means by that unless you die, you can't give new life. Unless you are ready to lose your life, you don't stand to gain. Jesus also has a beautiful sentence which perhaps changed the life of St. Francis Xavier when Ignatius Loyola quoted him the scripture and says that's in today's gospel, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul? All the other things that make us gain the whole world, perhaps in business, in industry, in our enterprise. What does it profit? Ultimately, if it's going to go as a waste because I lose myself, I lose my soul, I lose my being, I lose my dignity. So my dear brothers and sisters, we have a very difficult gospel to understand, a difficult message, a challenging one. But let us ask the Lord to give us the grace, first of all, to understand it. That's not enough, but to live it. Live it with the troubles, struggles, hard work, perhaps even the cross that God gives us. Secondly, as you are aware, we are almost in the middle of the perhaps first, third, fourth day of the Novena to Our Lady, St. Mary at the Basilica at Shivajinagar. I was there on the first day when the flag hoisting was going on, and the milling crowds that people have come back. Last 2-3 years, we know that because of Corona and even the after Corona effects, there wasn't much crowds, and we also felt it a lot. We were waiting for people to come back, to implore Mother Mary, to surrender themselves to the designs, to the will of God in their life, according to the example of Mother Mary. And thanks be to God, this year we have a lot of crowds. Every day we have the Novena Masses in different languages, as you might see in the clip. And at the same time, the people are also perhaps free to come any time of the day, perhaps late evening also, and visit the shrine of Mother Mary. Every day in the evening about 5:30 we have what we call the flag hoisting, for which a particular bishop or priest presides over, and we also invite some politicians, bureaucrats, all those persons who are in charge of certain things, and they are also helping us. We have invited also the Chief Minister to come, and he has given his sort of willingness to be with us on Saturday. And as I record this, I still get the news that he will be coming. On the other days, there will be the other ministers or the IAS or IPS officers who have been helpful to us in the different departments, and we also honor them as we pray to Mother Mary. Of course, there is a beautiful message that is given during the flag hoisting time, a message from the Gospel, and this message is particularly given in our languages that are spoken here, so that people also come here not just for the sake of sort of a devotion and piety, but also to be fed with the Word of God. I request you also to make a visit to the Basilica and pay homage to Mother Mary. As you are aware that we have taken this year as the year of the family, and therefore the Novena themes and all the devotions of Mother Mary at the Basilica this year are based on the theme of the family. Mary, the Queen Mother. Mary, the help and support of our families. The Mary, the leader of our families. The Mary, one who consoles us in our family. The Mary who stood at the cross, at the foot of the cross, also standing with us in our sorrows, also in our joys. And we particularly pray for the families. The family consists of the father, mother, and the children, sometimes even the other elders. And so we bring all of them at the devotion to Mother Mary, in order to ask her support for each one of us. Each one in the family has a different role. The father is the head of the family, and he has to pray that God gives him the courage to lead the family well. The mother, I say, is the door of the family. The main door is very important. You have to close it at night, or perhaps when you are not there. You have to see that Someone doesn't get into the house, and the Mary is like the chief security officer. The mother is the chief security officer who guides the people inside and who leads them outside. She doesn't allow everybody. At the same time, she doesn't allow the people inside to go anytime and go out. She is the commander who rules the house, and the children listen to her. And husbands also, many a time they say, my wife runs the house. I provide for them, but she runs the house. And the children together. And the family that stays together, prays together, enjoys together, perhaps even lives together, is the family that we look forward to. And therefore, as we not only family in our own places, but we carry the family to the church, and this week especially to seek the intercession of Mother Mary in our families. 5th of September is a very special day. It's a day of our teachers. And who doesn't remember his teacher? Surely we remember our parents. But after our parents, perhaps the teachers are the most important persons in our life. You know, Alexander the Great is supposed to have said, I am indebted to my father for living, but my teacher for living well. Beautiful words. You know, Alexander the Great was a great emperor. At his time, he is supposed to have been a ruler of half the world. And if he says that I owe to my parents surely for my living, but if I am living well, if I am a leader today, if I am a commander today, it's because of my teacher. So 5th of September is the Teachers' Day, and it's a beautiful day to give tribute to our teachers. It's both ways, for the children, for the elders, for all, because every one of us has gone through one or other teacher, perhaps many teachers, and there's someone who has rather perhaps made an influence that is much great on us. We are what we are because of the teachers, or some subject that I liked. Some have the teachers as their models, and in this way we pay tribute to our teachers. At the same time, I say the teachers also should reflect. They should be deserving to get this respect, and I would say this homage from the students, the past students, the students that are old enough. They have to merit, so therefore they also have to live and evaluate their life and teaching, their example, their model. The teacher is always a model, and being a model, the teacher is also to be above others in explaining, in sharing, and in proclaiming, as it were, the right things of life. The teacher cannot teach evil things. The teacher cannot give bad example. So it means that either way, both are indebted to God for their gift. The students are indebted to God for the gift of the teacher, and at the same time the teachers are indebted to the children that we have this audience with us, we have this pulp or perhaps the soil with us on which we can build, as it were, buildings and structures. And today all great people remember their teachers. Remember those that have been models to them. I found this beautiful quotation from Henry Brooks Adams. He says, a teacher affects eternity. A teacher affects eternity. He or she can never tell where his influence stops. He or she cannot tell where his or her influence stops. The teacher touches certain aspects of our life, our personality, of our dignity, and ultimately of our eternity. Tomorrow, if I am going to heaven, perhaps my teacher is also responsible for leading me to the heavenly realms as such. You know, the Teachers' Day was established in honor of our past president, Radhakrishnan. And being a teacher himself, India recognized him as a great teacher. And therefore, his day is being celebrated all over as the Teachers' Day. We have to celebrate this day, make our teachers happy. And it's not only the old people, perhaps the ones who have gone, who remember the teachers, even the youngsters. I found this small quotation from Malala. Malala was a young girl. She got the Nobel Prize at the age of 15 or 16, I think, because she was fighting for education in Pakistan, and she even was ready to face dangers, and she was mortally wounded by a gunshot. But she stood her ground and said that education for children, and especially for girls, is very important. And Malala says, one child, one teacher, one pen, and one notebook can change the world. Beautiful. One child, one teacher, one pen, and one book can change the world, says Malala. I wish all the teachers a happy Teachers' Day. My own teachers, I remember them remotely. Many of them, of course, are not there. There are one or two of my seminary professors who are still there, but my childhood teachers are not there. But then I still remember them and pray for them very specially. And from this platform, I wish all the teachers of our Archdiocese a happy, resounding, and a celebrative day. May God bless all of you. 5th of September has got another important day for us, for Indian Christians in India, and that is Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa died on 5th of September 1997, almost 26 years now, and the memory is still fresh. And the works that she has done, her beautiful service, being the queen of the gutters, that she lifted up people from the gutters and took care of them. And today, if perhaps the whole India salutes Christians in a very special way, because of our service, because of our dedication, Mother Teresa is an icon for them, is a model for them. And for us Christians, we are proud of her contribution to the poor of India and to the conscience of the world. I was told when Mother Teresa was called to receive the Nobel Prize, I think it was 1979 or 89, I don't remember, and she made a beautiful speech at that presentation when she was given the Nobel Prize, and she said, I dedicate this medal that you give to me to the poor. And as she was coming out, it seems a person who was specially abled stopped and said, Mother, please take this. He was giving her $15 or something. And Mother had almost taken up by that and said that a person left that state is giving me to help the other poor. This man is poor himself, but then motivated by Mother Teresa, he is ready to help others also. That should be our spirit. 5th of September is the day of the teachers. But we have to remember that Mother Teresa was also, first of all, a teacher, because she began her life as a sister, as a Loreto sister who taught in the schools. It's later on only she got what's called the call within a call, and she chose to serve the poor in a congregation that she started herself, the Sisters of Charity. But as the teachers, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, Mother Teresa continues to teach us many lessons of life. Many lessons of life. Those that remember when Mother Teresa died, on the same day or perhaps a day earlier or so, Princess Diana also died. And there was much focus on Princess Diana because she was a good lady, always smiling and always graceful. And people were shocked to see that Princess Diana has died, and the same day Mother Teresa. I read a beautiful quotation to say that one was princess of the world, and the second was the princess of the hearts. Mother Teresa was the princess of the hearts. Perhaps now she is the princess in heaven. We ask her intercession to be always helpful and ready to support the poor in spite of not being provided. We may not have full resources, we may not be rich, but let us always have the heart for the poor in the name of Mother Teresa.
The Shepherd's Voice, which is being presented by our beloved Archbishop, Most Reverend Dr. Peter Machado, the Archbishop of Bangalore, who takes so much of interest and concern in order to bring the various topics, the contextual aspects, in order to inform, educate, and catechize all of us, the priests, the religious, and faithful of this vast archdiocese. And I'm sure you are enjoying this program, Shepherd's Voice, and I request each one of you to share with your other colleagues, friends, and family and relatives, near and dear ones, so that everyone in this archdiocese can be more closer to listen to the Archbishop on this Shepherd's Voice, the weekly feature. My dear friends, as I've always told, that this is a wonderful platform wherein we can connect to the Shepherd of this Archdiocese, wherein he brings in the interesting topics in order to increase our devotion and love towards God, and also to know the spiritual matters that concerns our faith. In a very special way, you are most welcome to ask your questions, queries, and you can send them to us at archdblr@gmail.com, and you will also see our mobile number in and through which you can connect with our media center, Ave Studios, and the Archdiocesan Communication Center. Please do write to us your feedback, your opinions. Thank you. Continue to watch and continue to share with others.